Hi, everyone. It's me, Kristie Clayton. I am so excited about today's conversation. But before we jump in, just want to remind you, if you don't know me and who I am the founder of HERverse. HER is an acronym that stands for Helping Executives Rise. And we do that in three ways. We have a peer group for women who are sitting in the second in command seat, regardless of what operating system that you run on. The goal of this group, or the women who join this group, are those that are running the day-to-day business while working with a visionary to execute the vision of the company. We also have a second group called the Lead Her community, and these are leadership team members who report to that second in command leader. So they may or may not have direct reports, but they are owning their department. And then third is we do executive coaching for visionaries, second in command leaders, and leadership team members of both genders, so male and female. And we're having a blast right now, really enjoying our community coming together, especially during this holiday season. So that is who we are. But now I get the absolute honor and privilege of introducing Grandi Washington. Hi, Grandi.
Hi, I'm so excited to see your face.
Oh, I'm excited to see you too. Grady, if somebody doesn't know you, how do you describe Grandi Washington?
Oh, well, first I gotta put my little confidence hat on here. So those who do know me know all about that. Yes, thank you. Perfect. I love it. Thank you. So I am the CXO of HERverse, which I absolutely love so very, very, very much. I love our community and our members and, Kristie and everybody. So yeah, that's who I am. I'm also the chief dreamer because I thought that was like the coolest title in the world. And CXO of my own company, Extraordinary Seconds. And Seconds is a play on words. It is second in command, but it is also seconds in time because we make every second extraordinary. Because everything that we do is an experience, whether it is walking down the hallway at Summit with a silly tiara on my head just to show people that if I can do this, then they should believe in themselves too. So that's who I am. Yeah.
I love that. And what a great way to start our conversation, because I know that's something you're really passionate about. We share this passion, right? Of really helping people know and understand that you are uniquely, authentically you, and showing up as your unique self is really, truly what's important. So, you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, it took me a really long time to do that. I was never like okay in my skin. The absolute queen of imposter syndrome, which imposter syndrome is a crock of crap. I will tell you that right now because it is just in your head. Yeah, and I just, there's so much more that you can do and that you are meant to be. And at the end of the day, if you aren't pleased with yourself, nothing else matters. Like I have been in positions where I have desperately, because there's not a better word. I have desperately tried to please others, to do what they wanted me to do what I thought I was supposed to do, what I thought they wanted me to do. And that was just awful. And then I finally just started realizing that, I'm all right. I'm pretty cool. And nobody does, and people hear me say this to them all the time. Nobody does what I do in the way that I do it as well as I do it. And I usually say that to other people, and you don't do, but yeah. So I don't know. I think, walking around in tattoos and ripped jeans and pink glitter eyeshadow and a tiara on your head, whatever, if it makes you feel better, that's just fine, So,
yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. It's really important that, as leaders, that we are showing up as our authentic selves, because when we don't, first of all, we're not fooling anybody, right?
No.
People can see through it. They know that It's not who we genuinely are, and we can only fake it for so long.
Yeah.
But also, like, you're not being true to yourself, which means you're not showing up as your best self, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, you're kind of choked when you're doing that, and you're hurting people when you don't show up as your best self. If um you're doing things to please others, to do other things, and not what's true in your heart, you're not working in your genius, you're not really, like, you're not shining, you don't have like that spark about you. Like, people say, oh, you're glowing, like, oh, you're doing all of these wonderful things. Like, you're doing people a disservice by living to please them. And that was a very difficult, but such a freeing lesson I learned. So
How did you learn that lesson? Like, what really truly made you come to that realization that you just need to show up authentically as yourself, and you know what, wear the tiara and the ripped jeans and the sequins and the white pink and the blue hair, right?
it's blue, purple, and pink right now. It needs to be redone. But yes, yeah, I love it. I'm actually going to keep all those HERverse colors in it because I just love it.
It looks good on you. What was it that brought you to that, where you were able to really stand in that and say, you know what, I can show up as myself? What you said, you learned some hard lessons. What were some of the lessons you learned to be able to do that?
It was pure exhaustion. It was having my husband roll over in the middle of the night and take my phone out of my hand because I was desperately seeking Slack and emails and who needs me, and I got to go now, now, now. It was getting very, very, very sick and very, like, just depressed. It was my family needing me and me not being able to be there because I couldn't be present because I was so stressed about being told, you cannot be off, you cannot take time off, you have to be here, you must do this all the time. And it wore on me, and I finally one day was just like, enough. My family needs me. I'm not here. If they're the most important thing in my entire life and why I do everything that I do and why I strive and work so hard, why am I not enjoying them? Like, what is the problem here? And it clicked, and it has been a complete 180, like, since then.
I love
Completely.
that. I love that for you. And I'm so glad you're in this space now.
Yeah.
And I hope you don't mind, but I really do want to dive deep into this because I know a lot of leaders really do struggle with this, right? And so my first question to you is, when you were saying, I was rolling over and, looking at Slack and emails, and I was being told you can't take off because you have work to do and all of those things. I'm really curious. Is that something that somebody was actually saying to you, or is that the story you were telling yourself, or a combination maybe?
So it is a combination. It was a combination of hearing things being said about other team members when they took time off for their families. It was being told one day when I was downstairs cooking dinner. It was like 6 o'clock, and I was like, yes, I'm going to cook dinner tonight. I'm so excited. I haven't cooked in like a month. Mind you, my husband works 10-hour days, and he's gone for 14 because he does all the driving. Like, oh my God, I'm so blessed, like, and so grateful for him and so appreciative. I have to say that. So, and he would come home and cook dinner and do all of the things. So I was stoked, and I was like, I'm going to cook dinner tonight. Yes. And I got a Slack message, and I said, well, and that was the time I was like, I'm setting these boundaries because boundaries are for me to protect myself. And I said, I'm sorry, I can't do that, but I'll get to it tomorrow. I'm cooking dinner for my family. And it was, nope, you need to go do it now. And I was like, have a good day. So, yes, but it was a combination. And then I had that where I had put that on myself for so long. And I just started believing it. And I started thinking, I gotta just, I gotta go, I gotta go, I gotta go, I gotta do all the time. I can't stop. If I stop, I fail. If I stop, I'm not good enough. If I don't do enough, if I don't help this person, if I'm not there for this, if I'm not like doing, and I just was never being. And I just needed to be. Like I needed to be Grandi and who I was. So that's kind of what I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can definitely understand that because I've been there too, right? Where we do, whether it's someone telling us or us observing what someone else is saying, that, you know, or the stories that we're telling ourselves, is
Yeah.
we have to be on all the time, right? We have to be the one that is, you know, at work, the first in and the last to leave, and all, you know, all of those things, right?
Yeah.
So I'm glad you shared that. And I guess the question I have is, you know, you really said that it's something that you know, you set boundaries and you did different things. So I would love to hear from you. What are some of the things that you actually did to really, truly start, first of all, just identifying it, that, hey, enough is enough, like you said, but then
Yeah.
also like, what were some of the steps you took to move into it? Because I'm imagining, and please correct me if I'm incorrect here, but it wasn't something that just happened overnight. This is something that you worked on over time.
Yeah. Okay. So I've done quite a bit of work on myself, which you know, because shameless plug for your coaching, you helped me quite a bit. And you had no idea I was going to say that. But no, I did a lot. I stepped back and I looked and I, you know, sat down with my little color coded list and I started writing down like, what do I want? What do I need? What does my family need? What do I owe them? Because you don't really owe anyone anything, but I owe my family. I do, but that's my desire. It's not because I feel like I have to be here and give them my attention and be there for them and all of that. No, like I owe it to them because that is like what I want to do. That is my deepest desire. So just to clear that up before anybody's like, why do you have, you don't owe anybody anything. But I did start working on what I wanted and then my anti goals. What do I not want anymore? You know, not a fake background, which you know, I'm a total book nerd. Like I love to read. I hadn't read books in the longest time. That was a problem. I just started really looking. I did coaching. I've done therapy. I have done like read books. I read all the books on everything. I love to go to my favorite little place in the mountains in Boone. And I go up there for retreats and it's just quiet. There's no internet. It's great. And I
Yeah.
can just be there and like watch the sunrise on the mountain. Like I was never able to do that before because I wouldn't let myself. And once I realized there was no one holding me back but myself, I wasn't allowing myself to do these things. Well, that's when it changed. But it took me the longest time to get to that point to where I knew that, well, dang, you're in your own way. So I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you and I talked about that a lot too, right? It's like, it's the non-negotiable list, right? What are the things that I'm not
Yeah.
going to tolerate, and I'm not going to accept that. And the
Mm-hmm.
technology that you and I worked on a lot was, that doesn't work for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. That's exactly right. Yeah. No, and I no longer, as you know, I'm like, I'm done with this. Like I will not lose sleep over something that it's not my husband, it's not my children, it's not my family. Like not happening.
Yeah. Yeah, but at the same time, Grandy, you know, I know you very, very well, and I know the passion and the just absolute like care and precision that you put into everything. And so, you know, I know you well enough to know that it's it is, your work is truly what you are meant to do at this point,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. I care very, very, very deeply about helping people. And yeah, and you know that. yeah, I work very hard to make people feel welcome when they come in a room, like when I'm there, when they join, like when they join Femme, and HERverse, all of it. I There's a difference between being welcome in a room and being wanted in a room. And I strive and do everything I can to make sure that people feel wanted. And I also in turn like help them do that for others. They can learn the difference because they're like, oh, I'm nice and I welcome them. And I was like, hey, welcome to the team. Glad you're here. Here's your buddy. Have a good day. I'm going to go back to my job. Yeah, great. They're welcome. They got a little banner on their desks that says, hi, welcome to the company. But do they know that they're wanted? Like, what are the little, and it's those little bitty teeny tiny things that you can do, like a little handwritten note or a phone call, or like, give them some like stickers at Summit. I mean, just different things, and listen to what someone is saying to you and pick up on those little tiny things. I had a Zoom the other day and someone had told me something, and the first thing I said was like, hey, how's this going for you? They were like, what? Like, yeah, I remembered. It's important. It's important to you. Mm-hmm. So, but the trick with that is being authentic. It's not that fake garbage that people are just like, oh, yay. No, you see right through that. So, yeah, but helping people shine is one of my core values, and that's just what I love to do.
Yeah, I'm glad you said core values, because I think that was one of the things that you really did too, is when you were establishing like, who am I? Who do I want to be? What do I want to do in life? You really worked hard on your core values, not only like your business core values, but your personal as well.
Yeah, no, they are. Own your journey is one of them. It's you. It's yours. It's yours. It doesn't matter if it sucks. It doesn't matter if you think it's not good enough. By the way, you're wrong. It's your journey, and it's you, and it's what makes you. What are some others? I help others shine. Manifest extraordinary, because everybody has a little bit of extraordinary inside of them. Savor the shenanigans, because you literally cannot wear a tiara without shenanigans. And that's fun, because if you can't laugh, and it's not your typical have fun, it's like, really, like, oh man, I just totally said something stupid. Okay, well, I'm going to laugh about it because it's funny, and now it's a happy memory instead of making me like, ugh,
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then collaboration, not competition, is one of my favorites. They're all my favorite, and I broke the rules because I have 7, and I don't really care because they all resonate with me, and that's how it is.
That's is one of your values that you are a rule breaker?
No, actually. That's part of the savor the shenanigans, I guess.
I love it. Well, so I know you've done a lot of work on yourself. You've done a lot of work, on your business and making it what you want it to be. Can you share, like, what do if somebody is like, I want to know what she does, what is it that you do?
Well, so the two biggest struggles that I have found that people have, and it's 360 degrees around, is communication and accountability. So I solve those, help people work through those issues, figure out how to communicate effectively, how to communicate with empathy, but still with confidence. So, and then accountability being like, accountability isn't this horrible, I'm going to boss you around and it's, I'm micromanaging you to get your job done. No, it's not. Accountability is freedom and power. And so I show people how to do that. And so I do coaching with that kind of thing. And, like, we'll pick 2 goals and we'll go through and knock them out. And it's focused on just that. So, and it's from communication and accountability. And what do I hear when you're saying this? Am I correct? Instead of getting like mad at you and assuming, because we know what that does, I'm gonna like just, okay, this is what I hear, and am I right or dead wrong before I get mad? And hopefully you aren't gonna get mad that I ask. And if you do, know that I'm gonna ask you what about what I said ticked you off, so we can communicate. And like, it's working through that, and it's knowing that hard conversations are the easiest conversations that you can have, because once you get through them, it is like smooth sailing, won the lottery, woo, all day. It's great. If you both are committed to getting through them. So yeah, I just help people not have to learn all the hard lessons the hard way that I did.
I love that. I love that. Well, listen, I knew this was going to be a great conversation. I'm so glad that we had it. And you know where I'm going next, right? 3 rapid fire questions
Yep.
here. Those of you who know me well know that honor, empower, inspire means a lot to me, because it is truly recognizing and honoring the generation of women who have come before us and who have set and laid a beautiful foundation for us to be able to run on today. So, Grandi, who is a woman of a past generation that you would like to honor?
My grandma. Yep, definitely. Yeah, if I could bring her back, I certainly would. So, yeah. Yeah. And because, I'm a rule breaker too. My absolute favorite aunt. Yeah, I loved her too. She's amazing. And she also, Kristie, is a Mimi. She was a Mimi.
I love
that. Yep. So, yeah.
I love that. So, empower for me really is truly thinking of the women who are in business and leadership today. And empower means so much to me, because we really truly, as a society, and especially within the HERverse organization, like our whole focus is really to truly bring women together and empower them to be their absolute very best selves. And so, Grandi, I'm really interested to hear from you. Who is a woman of today's generation that is in business and leadership that you want to empower, or that empowers you?
Well, aside from you, because you know how much I already love you, and you are just amazing.
Well, thank you. That.
Yeah, so she's probably gonna like kill me, but that's okay. So my friend Arwen Berger is absolutely amazing, and if she would just put on her damn tiara and believe more in herself, okay. No, she is amazing. She does absolutely incredible things, and she's an advocate for children, for families, for like, she just does all this stuff that, like, I'm like, can I just be you when I grow up, please? You're so she is, and she just, I have a tiara I'm gonna ship to her. So
I love that. I love that you're shipping tiaras to women.
Absolutely, 100%. Would I be me if I didn't?
Well, and the funny piece of that is I don't know how many tiaras I've ever given out, like probably hundreds at this point.
Right? It's so fun. And disco balls. Because yes, those are also going out.
How fun. How fun.
Yes.
And then inspire. So inspire for me really truly means the women of the future generation that is coming up behind us, inspiring them and showing them the women that we honor and how they paved a way for us. And then now how we are doing more things than we've ever done, as women, especially in business and leadership, inspiring them that not only that can they do what we're doing, but the doors are wide open for them, and they are going to accomplish and do so much more than we have. Who is a woman of a future generation that you want to inspire?
Oh, my daughters, of course. Love my rule breaker, right? So yeah, no, my daughters are absolutely amazing, so incredibly different yet so similar. And yeah, they're both incredible. So, and they have won their own fights and struggles and have pushed through and have both inspired me. I'm not gonna cry. They have both inspired me so much in so many ways to do great things. And they both are doing incredibly great things right now. Like, Anna has my two grands, and she got this great promotion at work, and she did this huge discovery, and she's just like, she's doing such a good job, and like, I'm so proud of her. And my Maddie is like, she went to beauty school, so she's like a hairstylist, and she does an amazing job, and she's built her brand and her whole thing, her whole client list, and she's just bright and shiny and amazing. And now she's decided that she's going to go to nursing school. Like, what?
Yay.
So they're both doing these amazing, incredible things. Like, Anna homeschooled Sophie and like did all of this amazing stuff, and and Maddie's learning her way through life and doing all of this stuff, and like nothing gets them down. They just keep going. So maybe they inspired me. Maybe that's what it really is.
It's so funny to hear you say that, because my nieces are my I hope to inspire. And you're right. As much as I hope to inspire them, they inspire me every single day.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I do.
I love it. Well, again, friend, I knew this was going to be a fun conversation. It's always fun when we get to spend time together and talk with each other, and seeing you really blossom into being your absolute wonderful self has just been an absolute joy. So thank you for coming on and sharing time. We're going to take a 2-week break. Next week, Wednesday is Christmas. And so we're going to skip next week, but then also the following week is New Year's. And so we will come back and have our next ConvHERsations with Kristie on January 8th. I hope you have an amazing holiday season and Happy New Year. I'll see you in 2025.
Yay.